Hey, what's up? This is Amazin.reacts. Welcome to my channel. Today we're watching a brand new video. It is titled Clair Obscur Expedition 33 Review. I believe this is IGN. So we'll check out how they reviewed this game. I have played this game. I played it, I believe, when it first came out. I heard a little bit of chatter about that it was gonna be a good game. I ended up playing it. I was a little nervous on it because, like, if you been watching my channel, I mostly play Souls-like games. So playing this game, it's a turnstile game. So it's kind of fairly new to me. I remember when I was younger, I used to play Pokemon. That's the last like turn-based style game that I played. So I was a little bit nervous about playing it. And then once I got into it though, this was an amazing game. I thought it was actually like a hidden gem. I didn't think it was gonna win awards like it did. Cause I didn't think enough people would like recognized it, but it was actually a good game as well as had a great story.
It's one thing to wear your influences on your sleeve, and it's another to wield those influences to create something that can confidently stand on its own
Yeah,
merits.
this is
Clair
IGN.
Obscur Expedition 33 is explicitly built on many of the ideas of the great
Oh
author and
man.
master.
Oh, if you haven't seen this, I haven't played this game, spoiler alert, because I'm gonna be dropping spoilers on there. Because Gustav, man, RIP, he was the goat for the the small amount of screen time he got.
Japanese RPGs, and French developer Sandfarm isn't shy about it.
This, oh, I swear, no, if I'm, I ain't even gonna get into it. But I just felt like, man, y'all jump onto whatever that thing it was so y'all could leave. But they want to have a full heart to heart conversation, and I knew somebody was gonna die.
Nor should it be.
Felt familiar somehow.
From the bold stylings of its magnificent turn based combat to the melodramatic but genuine storytelling tropes it largely embraces, so much of Clair Obscur feels familiar yet refreshing. Its superb execution on those ideas puts its own stamp on them for one of them somber but hopeful journeys I won't soon forget.
Expeditioners, the Sword of Lumiere. We honor your
Good great.
dedication.
I agree with all these
In
reviews.
Clair Obscur, the people
Now, and it had a great soundtrack. I even listened. I think I put it on a Spotify playlist. The theme song that they have on there. But yeah, it had a good playlist. I love the music in this too.
of Lumiere live in a fractured reality. Every year, a godlike figure they call the Paintress marks a number on a tower far off in the distance, counting down the age at which people will perish into nothingness. You lead the survivors of the latest in a series of annual expeditions that set sail in hopes of destroying the Paintress, none of which have ever come back despite decades of attempts.
Know that Lumiere stands with you.
It's a harrowing premise that hangs a heavy layer of melancholy over the entire story. Knowing that your
Now that I think about it, maybe I won't spoil it because if you haven't played the game, I think you should. This was a great game. I'm not gonna lie.
people are fighting against their own extinction
Amazing
by
story.
signing up for a death march, facing unknown dangers, and picking up the pieces left behind by expeditions long gone, it's easy to become invested in their fate and the mysteries that
And
dictate
they
their
had a
life.
twist at the end that I was trying to guess it, but I could not figure out what was going on. But it had a good trick at the end, a little twist.
You don't get to die.
I finished the main story and a decent amount of side content in about 35 hours, and that length speaks to how Claire Obscur doesn't waste a moment. There isn't really any filler along the critical path, and it doesn't get bogged down in drawn out exposition.
I thought I was the only one
I
left.
think they had good like voice acting and the dialogue between them. Like he said, it wasn't any wasted like dialogue when they talk. Everything seemed like it mattered and it seemed genuine. Whereas sometimes they throw like one liners and stuff into games to kind of like, I don't know, give it like a quirky vibe. But this really felt like great acting, even though it's a video game, so it's not really acting, but what voice acting. This was good. And I can't talk about in depth about like the side quests and stuff because when I went through it, I was so invested in the story. I really didn't even do any of the side quests. I just went straight to like I stuck to the main story because I really wanted to know what was going on because they had me with the story, especially after the whole Gustav thing. I was like, no, I have to finish this.
Some of my favorite moments in RPGs come from the downtime that offers a chance to breathe and take in the world. There's an embedded urgency here that cuts through the chase in a way that mostly works in its favor. I love a good 80-hour RPG, don't get me wrong, but this is a nice change of pace.
Let's go. Someone lives here.
Because of that relatively shorter length, the sharpness of Clair Obscur's combat system never dulls.
See, I didn't
Also
even know this was a
combines
short
flexibility in
game
battle
because
with
this is my
stylish
first
motion or
turn-based game.
understandable. But more prominent is its active element. Real-time button inputs boost potency in special attacks and let you dodge and parry enemy attacks, which works wonders for making fights engaging. Against tougher enemies, you don't really stand a chance unless you're paying close attention to visual and audio cues for
Yeah,
dodges and parries, and
it took me a
dodging.
while to get used to the
The
parry.
initial trial and error of learning attack patterns will be frustrating at times, but when I'm locked in like it's Sekiro, there's an intensity here I don't think I've ever felt in a turn based RPG. And there's nothing quite like the rewarding slow mo
Yeah, I
camera
remember all
work
these
and
boss fights.
epic counterattack of a
I actually played it on stream, so I had someone help me because I had no idea you were supposed to aim for like the lanterns. So I did have someone help me with this when I was playing it on stream. Someone in the chat just told me how to defeat it.
precisely timed parry. Every party member has their own specific mechanics that typically revolve around building up their unique resource in battle and managing action points, or AP, to execute the more heavy hitting attacks. Their skill trees are concise, so Clair Obscur is still approachable in that you're only given a handful of tools and then are asked to have a strong grasp of how they work.
I
The
might
emphasis
replay this
on
game.
reading certain conditions and inflicting specific knock on effects to make the most of when you're lining up attacks, it reminds me of mechanics that you'd see in a CRPG, but fine tuned for a classic style Japanese RPG. The way their skill sets can synergize and play off of each other also shows an understanding of what makes a turn based system sing. You may establish a
I know I
routine
did
early
burn
on as
damage
the
a
way goes
lot.
on. It becomes
I
more
was
about
like, man, let
adapting
me
to
just
all the
burn them
variables thrown at you
so it
and
can take
finding the
off.
satisfaction of pulling off your most powerful attacks.
I didn't use her that much. That's another. I might need to play it again because I want to use her
Then
like a
there's another
couple of
layer called
times.
Pictos. These attachments offer game changing stat boosts and perks that drastically affect how you can gain AP, the bonuses you get from dodges and parries, or the way status effects work, and more. Using Pictos for long enough eventually allows you to stack their perks in what are called Lumina and really build a character in ways their skill tree cannot. Navigating these menus is kind of a pain since things get messy once you're sifting through 50 plus options packed in a tight screen, but when it all clicked, taking the time to configure my party was well worth the hassle. Setting the right loadout elevated my party in
Mm.
ways that were crucial for the most challenging fights. My biggest worry early on was actually that Clair Obscur was going to be too easy as I steamrolled almost every enemy for roughly the first third of the main path. It definitely ramps up as
Yeah,
it goes on, however, weaving in more
that
creative
happened with
enemy
me
attack
too.
patterns and doing more with status effects or enemy
But
shields,
them
really.
period
Allowing
windows
me to
was
try out
it
new
got
moves with
difficult as you went on.
that provides depth while staying concise. And if you're clever enough, you're even allowed to break the game, so to speak, as its systems let you scale up in a way that's rewarding
Yeah,
rather than exploitative. All that
I
is to
did
say,
like
I
that
played
part
these
too.
kinds of RPGs my entire life, and I'm
Like this
confident in
game
saying
was
that it is
definitely
one of my
fair
favorite
as far
turn
as
based
like the combat.
RPGs ever. It has room for
Now I don't have
improvement, but
anything to
it's a bar
compare it
that's
to, but like me being my first time, it didn't make me. It never made me like rage quit. Like even if you lost a couple of times, it's just like, I'll eventually get it.
there's something very old school about Clair Obscur, and its overworld is one of the clearest ways in which it harkens back to classic RPGs. The map is filled with optional locations and secrets, many of which aren't accessible until you unlock new travel methods, similar to getting chocobos and airships in the Final Fantasy games of yore. It's actually really charming, embracing its video gamey
I
aspect
used
in
to
a
try
way
to
that
run
doesn't
around
have to
them whenever
always
you don't
be
fought like
classic
three
experience.
different the
This
same
system
type of
works
enemy.
great
I
for
would try to
anyone,
run
and
around and hope
eventually
they
get
don't
hooked if
catch
you
me,
have to
so
fight
I
certain
didn't have to
enemies
fight.
or play silly minigames for unique items or uncover a bit more about the story you wouldn't have seen otherwise. And that side content accounts for roughly another 20 hours of gameplay on top of the main story.
Oh, maybe I should
There's
do the
like a
side
quest
content.
log, so there isn't
I
a
think I'll do
narrative
New
way to
Game
track what
Plus.
you stumble upon, but rather than feeling obtuse, it gives the impression that these secrets are yours to discover in true throwback fashion.
I
Every
don't think
locations you visit
I
find
don't even think this game get enough credit. Like the creators who made this. Like I don't even. I have never heard anybody mention their names. Are they like a small studio?
like dungeons where you fight your way along a fairly direct track with extra items tucked in nooks and crannies off the beaten path. You approach and hit enemies to initiate combat, and they respawn if you decide to replenish your health and items at flags planted by previous expeditions that function like checkpoints. Exploration is limited in this regard, but it helps each of these main story sequences stay focused. For as linear as the main path can be, a minimap still would have been handy just to keep track of the alternate paths I've already gone down, because sometimes it's
Yeah,
easy to get lost.
some of it
As a
did look
consolation,
the
every
same,
place you visit is visually striking,
but
whether
they
it's
had
the
different
era
like
with
type
its
of
natural beauty or the
enemies
brutality of the
around, so you can
trenches and
kind of know like, oh,
battlefields
I
where
haven't
the
been
bodies of
here
past
yet.
expeditioners are piled high. Regardless, I was often
But main
entertained by
part is
Claire
the
Obscur's
story. This was a good story. Like I can't stress that enough.
What really etches an RPG into the pantheon of greats, however, is always going to be its story. My heart was all in on Clair Obscur's themes of facing mortality, making sacrifices for future generations, and the different ways we handle grief.
I'm sorry about earlier.
This is another harrowing exploration of topics like this, for the way it contextualizes time and age, but also for its portrayal of grief becoming destructive to those around you should
That's
it
what I'm
consume
saying.
you.
Like this,
Its
it
brevity
was
does work
good.
against it at times, as the story
Like this
shifts into
story
other
was real
directions
good.
later on, but even then, it's consistently carried by an
I loved her
A-list
too.
cast.
Like I loved
The
her
acting and
character.
voice performances are incredible, with dialogue that plays out like natural real-life conversations.
I talked to the stars a lot after he was gone. I remember.
Small gestures, subtle expressions, and the cadence of line deliveries ground its characters for a story that feels as real as it is fantastical.
I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward.
You swore the oath. When one falls, we continue.
Yes, I know.
Despite its deeply sad
She
premise, it
tripping.
also manages to
But
be
it is good
fun
that he
and
kept going.
largely charming rather than forced.
But don't press me about it.
Yes.
Silly wooden guys called gestrels occupy most of the continent, working as both comic relief and a lens to understand unknown parts of the world. Your party will goof with each other and share parts of their personal lives at camp, and while not all of it is riveting stuff necessarily, those brief moments are vital for rounding out the human element that this story channels.
Ooh, nice one.
Hmm.
Admittedly,
Oh, and the voice actor for the Gustav, I believe it was the guy who played Daredevil. I forgot his name, but yeah, I believe he was the voice actor for him.
there are moments in which Clair Obscur embellishes in its sorrow a bit too much, and perhaps gets a little overdramatic at times, but it's able to find its footing by evoking a very specific tone that leans heavier into what you'd expect more from a theater production than a Hollywood blockbuster. And from that perspective, playing out like a classical tragedy is an integral part of its identity.
We can't bring anyone back. But I thought we can keep their spirit alive by pushing forward.
It feels like an expression of French art history at times, wearing its culture on it.
I was already parasocial, and see that's another thing. Like it, I was already parasocial from when he met that girl in the beginning, and she ended up. I ain't gonna spoil y'all. Y'all will see what happened. But you know what? Yeah, y'all see
Sleeve as an enticing artistic foundation.
if y'all play the
It's not
game.
just in the
But I don't know. Most of y'all probably already played the game, so yeah, I was already parasocial with them whenever they got together and stuff like that. It was sad to see her go, but then it kind of makes sense him not surviving, because I mean, the love of his life already gone too. So it is what it is.
distinct Belle Epoque aesthetic or the French phrases characters use, but it's in the motifs that invoke theater, painting, dance, and music, which are woven into the very fabric of its fictional world, with music being the most powerful one.
Been a long time since I've seen you play.
Like every great RPG, an evocative soundtrack can uplift it to become a truly memorable experience, and Sandfall understood the assignment. There's almost too much good music that certain songs didn't get enough time to stick in my head, but at every turn are amazing songs that hype you up for battle,
Yeah, it
get
was.
you in a
The
groove for
soundtrack
catchy
to this was
melodies,
amazing.
or set the tone for a wistful atmosphere. Clair Obscur's soundtrack is stunning and will be one of the reasons I won't forget this game.
Yeah, I got it on my Spotify playlist too. All right, what's the verdict? This gotta be 9 out of 10.
Expedition 33 reminded me of numerous classic and
But I ain't gonna lie, I rate all games high though.
Sandfall truly understood
But for the most part, I do play
and made those pieces
some pretty good games.
Its creative turn-based combat system is fantastic, keeping me engaged while
I don't have anything to compare it to. I do want to play Baldur's Gate.
melodramatic.
I haven't played it. I want to
There's
play that though.
earnestness to how it frames mortality and grief, and the different and destructive ways we may handle it, all delivered through fantastic performances from an A-list cast that gives its story the heart it needs to really hit. The contrast between its artistic sensibilities and old school RPG design philosophy shows a clarity of vision, as if it was scoped just right to focus on the things that matter most, making it a true modern throwback. And so, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 stands strong alongside its
No, I
inspiration.
told you it had to
and
be a
hope
nine.
that it too
I'm
can
assuming
be
that's a 9 out of
inspiration
10.
for those who come after.
Mark's executive reviews editor here with Michael Hyam again to talk about his review of Clair Obscur Expedition
Yeah,
30.
I wonder if they're gonna come out with a DLC, or can you comment any other games that this game studio has made?
Reload.
Yeah, can you comment any games that this game studio has made? Because I mean, if any other games are half as good as this, I would love to play it. So just let me know in the comments below on if this studio makes any more games.
Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. You've done a ton. We joked in the lead up to Claire Obscur that you were like the sad RPG reviewer, the get you in your feelings RPG reviewer. Why do these emotionally kind of rich games appeal to you like this? That you're drawn to them?
Let me see.
Damn, you're asking some deep questions, man. But I do think it comes from a place of these kinds of stories resonate with me because they're instructive and they're illustrative and they kind of when people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, a game changed their life" or whatever, I really do feel that because
And I like whenever you playing a game in the story, it feels like say when I finished a actual mission, it felt like I was ending on like a cliffhanger. So it's like I'm just quitting the game so I can get some sleep because I need it. But I'm definitely coming back to play it again. Like it was like one of those type of games and one of those type of stories. So that was one of the main things uh that made me keep going back to it.
because it gives you perspective. It gives you a different way to see things. And I've experienced that a lot in my life, playing a lot of RPGs that have these emotionally charged stories that kind of inform how I move or interact with the people in my life. I think I often refer to Persona 5 as a touchstone for that because playing that game when I first moved to
I
a new
never
city
played
for a
Persona
new
5.
job, I was kind of like reevaluating
Doesn't they have
relationships
like
with
a
people, and
cartoon
I
or
was kind
anime
of
or
like
something
a
like that?
stranger in a place, and I didn't really know how to make new friends in this particular context. But I think like playing through Persona 5 and kind of understanding how to navigate relationships
Wait, does
was
this have
instructive.
anything
Like I'm not
to
saying
do
that it
with?
taught me how to do it,
Oh
but it
well,
was
I guess
like,
he's
okay,
still
here's
relaying
a
that to
way to
Claire
think, a
Obscur.
different way to think about those things. I've played a lot of these emotionally charged stories, and then I've taken something away from it. It's given me perspective. In my Persona 3 Reload review, in particular, where I mentioned I had played that game previously, but a lot of things have happened in my life where I have to like confront my own mortality. I've lost my parents since then too, and so I come into this having played a lot of these games already. So
I was just about to click.
it's not like it's completely new to me. Its themes aren't completely new to me, but I do think they execute on them really well. And I think themes of uh, what do you do with the time that you have left, how you handle grief, and kind of understanding how different people handle their grief and how that can be destructive to them and the
Oh,
people
now I
that
do like that.
those
That
are
was
one
a
of the
theme
things that I
that
think
went on.
Claire
Like
Obscur hits on really well.
once you get to the end and how people handle grief, that was like a big thing. Like the main theme, pretty much of what was going on here. So I do like his answer on that.
And just like that certain sorrow about the
And it
prince
started off with
knowing
grief,
his son
like
was
this
killed.
image. Oh, they even showed you that she
The
disappeared
main character
and died.
Gustav also always says, "For those who come after." That's like his
Main
catchphrase.
character,
And
because
there's this theme
he
about
was kind of
I'm
gone in the
not doing
first
this
act,
for myself. I'm doing this for
or
folks
maybe the
who come
second act.
after me because I'm not the only person that matters in this world. And like that is a consistent theme throughout Clair Obscur that I think it frames it really well and hits on that really well. And I think that it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
I am not letting my help die out here. I'm taking her home.
All right, so yeah, like I was saying, amazing story. I did like the way they wrapped it up. If they didn't make another one, I would be satisfied because the story was good. But it did leave room for them to make a part two, and I would definitely play it. It was my first turn-based style game, so it got a special place for me. And I do want to play Baldur's Gate 3 eventually. I heard it's a really good game. It won Game of the Year, I think, a couple of years back. But if you enjoy content like this, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.